Well, our relationship is still very difficult, and the main reason for that is that the Russians taking over of Crimea and the Donbas, which, of course, Ukrainians know all about. The Minsk agreement is there, but the Russians haven't taken steps to really implement that agreement. The United States still strongly supports that. Kurt Volker, who was our special ambassador for that issue, who talks to Mr. Surkov in the Kremlin, he is here at the conference, and I think he's going to speak either later this afternoon or tomorrow. So it'll be a good chance to update on what's happened. As far as I know, there hasn't been any movement. But there's the broader issue is also the Russian cyber attack on the United States, and to a certain extent, the poisonings in England, which have caused the Trump administration to impose additional sanctions on Russia. So it's a very difficult, strained relationship, probably as strained as any that I've seen in my lifetime. Well, the Senate is considering additional sanctions at this point, and I frankly am not in government anymore, so I don't know exactly what the Trump administration's position on that is going to be. But I can tell you that the Congress in the states and many people in the states are very angry with Russia. I think the last poll was something like 75% of Americans were angry, upset, I don't know exactly the right word, but against Russia. There's very little sympathy for Russia at this point in America. Well, when I was in Moscow, I always said to negotiate in the first instance an agreement with Ukraine to to stop the war, to stop the killing, and to resolve the problems in Donetsk. And I was interested this morning to listen to President Poroshenko explain that, they're ready to try to do this, including, he talked about UN deployments or elections, but they need to see moves on the part of the Russian side. It's baloney. The people who we suspect of some of these crimes, the 12 GRU people who were involved in cyber attacks, that's one thing. But Mike McFaul and the others who are on that list are simply American political academic experts and other political figures, and you saw what the reaction was to it, and it was completely rejected by the Trump administration.